Welcome, everyone, to the Horror Lens Podcast, the very first episode of the Horror Lens Podcast. I'm Lance, the Obscure Movie Guy. Joining me tonight, Brandy from Flower City Butcher, correct? Horror Hound Bites, and obviously the Horror Lens in partnership with Forever Entertainment. So go follow Forever Entertainment, like, subscribe, and comment to their YouTube channel and their Facebook group. Brandy, how are you tonight?
I am doing wonderful despite
Despite being a bloody mess.
yeah, as you see. I couldn't help it. But I did get something.
There you go. Very nice.
So when he wants it back, he knows where it is. Come get it.
Very nice. Very cool. So, as we said, this is the first episode of the Horror Lens Podcast. We're going to be talking all things horror week in and week out. And the very first episode titled The Scream Queen. So, we're not going to be talking about just the Scream Queen, but Scream Queens in general, past, present, and future. So, Brandy, you're a female. You're going to be in some horror stuff. Would you consider yourself a Scream Queen?
Well, I was killed last year in this very outfit by Warrington, by the very first Jason Who Killed. Warrington Gillette. He was in Friday the 13th Part 2, and it was for promo videos for upcoming cons and in his new book that he just launched for it's called The Bloody Social, and it's a spin-off of Jason, but his father passes away on Friday the 13th, and he accuses his stepmother of killing him.
Okay.
And Jason gets revenge for daddy instead of mommy. So, and it takes part in Palm Springs, but he just launched the book. So
Okay.
we were like, it was just for something to do. It was fun and
some
why
promo
not?
vids, and I'd say that gives you a little bit of some clout when it comes to being the Scream Queen. And you've got some other projects coming up with Forever Entertainment, correct?
Yes, actually, I'm in Killer Pizza remote acting.
Very nice.
Because I'm Canadian, and you'll hear it after I say now that I'm Canadian. You'll hear me say the word, saying A, and you'll know. You'll hear me later. Um, and myself and my son are going to be I think my son's associate producer as well, but I know I'm an associate producer for the Killer Pizza as well.
Awesome.
And I'm pretty sure my son is as well. My son is in the back of we're part of I don't know if we're part of all of the things we're doing, but we're doing the Flower City Butcher, and I'm doing a remote acting role with that.
Oh, cool.
And my son and I are both assistant producers. And Horror Hound Bites, I have a custom role in that one, and I guess there's 10 episodes, and I'm in 8 of them out of 10 of them.
Oh, very nice.
And again, it's going to be remote acting, so I have honestly no idea what's going to happen.
That's the beauty of technology. I mean, you're in Canada, I'm in Florida. We can remotely interact and act amongst these things. So that's pretty cool. You got a lot going on, a lot of it associated with Forever Entertainment from Anthony and Mandy Camino. So very cool in that.
And this, he asked me to be part of this, so I don't know where.
Yeah, this is it's the first episode. I know they're trying a lot of different things with some different podcasts. And I know they got a lot going on in their personal lives that we don't need to dive into. That's their story to tell. But I know they're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. And I guess this was just another one of those things that they wanted to try. I don't want to say that they're trying to see what sticks, but I think they've got a good thing going with Forever Entertainment, and obviously, Final Girl. They got that trademarked. They've got the new website coming. They've got merchandise coming. So a lot of cool stuff going on for Forever Entertainment and Anthony and Mandy. So, but yeah, this is another one of their podcasts that they're trying, and everybody seems to like horror, even if you're not a horror fan. In some regard, you still kind of like horror, whether you're willing to admit it or not. So,
it doesn't matter what age you grow up. like what age you are. Honestly, it's so odd that my son, who is almost 20 years old, knows more about the movies that we watched first.
Right.
What? They tell me all sorts of things. I'm like, excuse me? Who? Where did you get all that? He's like, oh, because I watched the movie, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, so did I, but like, I don't know where you got all this information. They know
Well,
everything.
I think a big difference with that, honestly, like growing up, obviously, like the 80s was like the big slasher era. You know, you had Freddy, you had Jason, you had Michael Myers in the late 70s, early 80s. But I think what helps with today's generation and today's entertainment is that you can stream a lot of that stuff, you know, back to back to back to back. You can watch it consecutively. You can watch it in any order that you want. I only had the luxury of either watching it in a theater, which I was probably too young to do, or watching it when it would come on television. And let's face it, basic cable back in the day, a lot of that stuff is censored. You don't see everything. So I think today's streaming platforms allow hardcore horror fans to really dive into that stuff and kind of dissect it a lot better than what I was able to growing up.
Yeah, same. And also, they're older watching it than when we were because we had to watch it. We had to watch it when it came on the TV.
Right.
And I was about, well, it was 1980, so I was 7 years old with
Okay.
my eyes glued to the TV, waiting for Jason to come out. You know what I mean? That's how young I was watching Jason 7.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
and Jaws. I watched Jaws on the TV.
Yep.
So, and I was like 5 or something. So, you know,
I can't tell you how many times I watched Jaws 2 on basic cable television as a kid.
you had to watch it. It came out before the summer every year because they had to warn you that Jaws was out there in that water before the summer. For us, like in the like northern heaven, like what is it, the northern hemisphere or whatever, right? They
Right.
always had to warn you. It was in the spring or the summer. They played Jaws every single year.
Yeah, and then
And
they would
had
tell you to
scare
stay
the
out of the
crap out
water.
you. Yeah, and they had to scare the crap out of you one more time. You know what? I'm not afraid of Jaws. I'm afraid of those little tiny ones, those little tiny fish that when you get in the
Little
water,
tiny
they come
baby
at you.
sharks.
No, those are like barracudas, but there's those little tiny ones that try to like eat at you because people throw bread in the water at them.
Right.
They're scary. Those things are scary because they all come at you like a whole family, a whole swarm of fish come at you. Like, whoa, dude, I have nothing. So,
No.
but go on a shark dive, you might think different of Jaws, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Shout out to Kurt Douglas. He says hi, guys. So good to see he's tuning in. I know Mandy's watching us as well.
How do
So
you see it? I can't see it.
But so let's dive into the episode in and of itself, the Scream Queen, as they titled it. And my question to you, and this can actually be a question for the audience as well, because I'm kind of curious how people really want to define this. Is there a difference between a Scream Queen and quote unquote the final girl? That is not a loose term to be used anymore with Forever Entertainment. But is there a difference between a final girl and a Scream Queen?
I had that very question earlier, and I was actually going to message Anthony and ask him if there was such a difference, but I thought I didn't know what to do. So good thing you asked. That was like the first question I had tonight.
Because so, I
wonder that too.
I mean, I guess, a Scream Queen, I don't know how you would look at that. I mean, like the quintessential Scream Queen, of course, is Jamie Lee Curtis. So that's kind of like the benchmark. That's kind of like, if you're going to be a Scream Queen, that's probably who you want to try and emulate. That's probably who you're going to be compared to. So does that transcend time because she's been, in Halloween multiple times and is like, tied to that franchise? Or somebody like Neve Campbell, who you could argue would be a final girl or Scream Queen because she's tied to the Scream franchise. And there we see Neve, there we see Janet Leigh, that's Jamie Lee Curtis's mother. And I'm not 100% who that other person is, but
I don't know.
possibly Angela Bassett, a very young Angela Bassett. So, I mean, is there a difference between the Scream Queen and the Final Girl, or is it just kind of an interchangeable type title? I would like to think that there would be a little bit of a difference, but I don't know what that difference would be.
Yeah, because I don't know. Well, do you know like the original Scream Queen was Fay Ray in King Kong.
Yeah,
The
that's a
one
good one too. That's and you're
she
talking
was the
old school
original,
King Kong. You're talking like
1930s.
1939.
Yeah. So she's the one who's the original Scream Queen, and they told her that she had to scream like she was literally fearing for her life for like 8 hours to get like those videos.
Wow.
Like imagine screaming all day.
I mean, I do with my kids, but
But screaming bloody murder like somebody's killing you for 8 hours straight. She couldn't even talk. Like that's wicked. But can you imagine that mechanical King Kong holding you?
that's a really interesting concept too that you bring up, like her being the original Scream Queen, because I think, you know, we often associate the Scream Queen with horror, but really King Kong is more of a creature feature, which can be horrific, but often kind of, you know, a little different than your traditional horror film. But you're right. I mean, you would have to say she's the OG, because that was probably like one of the first films, if not the first film. And you put a lot of emphasis on how, you know, much she had to do it throughout the course of the day. And we've got Forever Entertainment chiming in. This is what they're saying. A final girl is a Scream Queen, but a Scream Queen might not necessarily be the final survivor. So
Right.
that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. So a final girl can still be a Scream Queen. Like there's still can be two different kinds, right?
That's a good way to put it, though. So the final girl could be a Scream Queen, but a Scream Queen might not necessarily be the final survivor.
Right. But she might not be a final girl. Yeah, she might not
Right.
be it.
Okay, so they do kind of coincide, but I can see the difference that they're bringing up. I like that point. That does dictate a little bit of separation between them. So with that being said, you know, you said Faye being the original. I mean, if we're talking past, present, and future, you know, we talked about Jamie Lee Curtis. She's definitely one of, you know, if not the Scream Queen. You brought up Faye, which is definitely the original. Janet Leigh's another one. That's Jamie Lee Curtis's mother. I mean, obviously with a Psycho, the Alfred Hitchcock classic. Yeah. That was, you know, an iconic scene. Again, that kind of sets the staple. And there we see Jamie Lee, Janet Leigh. And then The Shining.
That was a horrifying movie, especially in its day.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see how horror has evolved over the years. And with that evolution, I mean, essentially the Scream Queen has to evolve a little bit as well in that regard. You know, moving into more modern times, you know, you've got actresses like Jennifer Tilly. We spoke about Neve Campbell a little bit. And then there's a few that I would kind of, you know, like Sissy Spacek from Carrie. Would you consider that like a Scream Queen? I mean, I wouldn't say she's a Scream Queen actress, but I mean, maybe that specific role would kind of dictate that. But I mean, that's, you know, or even like Winona Ryder. If you look at like Winona Ryder, I mean, she was in Beetlejuice, she's in Stranger Things. But I mean, just because she's in horror, does that really make her a Scream Queen in that regard?
No.
It's a very quick no.
No. Because the whole point is they're the ones who are literally just screaming. Like that's the whole point of the Scream Queens. The people who they're the ones who are technically the victims, but these days the victims are becoming the huntees are becoming the hunters, you know? So
yeah, there does seem to be a little bit I would say deviation, I guess, from the scream queen. As horror has evolved, we've kind of gotten away from a scream queen and more into a final girl type thing, where the victims often you find them fighting back at the end of the film, as opposed to being the victim, like you said. And really, that's how you're going to become the scream queen, is being the victim. You've got to let out that scream.
Yeah, if they're gonna change it, if they take it too far, then they're losing the original point of it. Especially the filming. You know, the weird filming. Like, okay, you know what? I'm telling you, all I can think about right now is that Terrifier dude.
Art the Clown.
Right, but the the All Hallows Eve one though, because I
Okay,
just
so you're
watched
going back to the shorts, the
the
short film.
original whatever where they showed the movies. So in the movie where they flicker it like would happen on your TV in the 70s, you know what
Right.
I mean? If they throw a few one of those like weird flickers, like it, I was on my edge when they had that when they were watching the video, like the kid watched the
Right.
boy like dude, I am watching this movie whether you like it or not, and like we're like, what is gonna happen? And it was just weird and creepy all at the same time, but you still had to wait and watch it like train wreck. But then when normal part of the movie came on, it was more like, you know, you're back to normal TV watching. But when the
Right.
weird part came on, you were not leaving that TV. You were waiting for that video to finish. It was until it was done. Like your eyes were like, oh shit, you just scared
And
me.
there's
Damn,
good old there's the
Mike
All Hallows
Gianelli.
Eve art.
That's
Now
Mike Gianelli.
that actor's not the current actor for Art the Clown.
No, that's our Mike Gianelli, the original Art the Clown.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
he semi-retired.
he did. I'm gonna meet him next Saturday.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, my friend is his agent.
Oh, cool.
So, and and the stuntman Art the Clown and Ellen Luder. He has 5 people going. I don't
Oh,
remember all
nice.
the people, but he's going to be there. That's why I watched it. That's why I watched the movie. I had to do homework and scared the crap out of myself. Well, you know, it was really good though. It was it was a good movie. I never, you know, my
Yeah,
son knew about it. I didn't know. So I
well, and
had to watch.
I think Terrifier actually exemplifies the exact scenario in which Forever Entertainment was talking about. So if we take a look at Terrifier, the Scream Queen in that scenario, if we take a look at the first movie, not the short, but the Terrifier from
Yeah.
2016, Catherine, I don't know how to say her last name, Catherine Corcoran, the girl that is
Oh,
essentially
the
sawed in half.
babysitter.
So
Oh, okay, yeah, that lady. Oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah.
so she being sawed in half, obviously that would probably put her in the category of the Scream Queen in that scenario, because she's screaming, she's dying, she's being cut in half. Whereas the other girl would be the final girl in that scenario. She survives, she lives to fight another day. She's the main protagonist. So I think with what the definition that Forever Entertainment gave in the comments, I think is probably a perfect example in that scenario. And then we've got Brittany Anderson on the live chat saying, "Hey, gorgeous." I'm sure she's talking to me, not you.
Brittany, hello, you everybody. Probably talking to you. Oh, whoa, that's a lot of words. I see some words up there, but they're real tiny. I'm gonna use a bigger screen next time, see if I can see them.
Well, Forever Entertainment's asking, who is your favorite Scream Queen? Let us know in the comments. But great question for you, though, personally, Brandy. Who is your favorite Scream Queen?
Let's see. I really do. I have to go back. I go back to the 80s, the originals. I can't stay away from the, like, I'm into the original people, way in the old days, like Halloween, the Friday the 13th, the I like those. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, right off the bat, you have like it's Halloween is that's what's ingrained in my head. But it's funny because Dee Wallace is in those,
Oh
but
yeah, Dee Wallace is a
wouldn't
good actress.
wouldn't you consider E.T. kind of horror?
I mean,
It's kind of horrific. Like you don't get well, unless you're like me and give your 3-year-old here, you need to watch E.T. Like 3 years old, like here, yeah, watch or 5 years old or whatever he was. Here, watch E.T. What? Like
so I would
that
say
is it
from
kind
from a,
of
from a cinematic standpoint, I wouldn't consider it horror, but
no.
the
Wow.
storyline in and of itself, if I had to meet an alien, I would probably be horrified. So
Well, that's
you
what
could
I'm
kind of
saying. What
argue
can you
that
tell them?
maybe it's a little bit of a horror type film. But then if you're gonna do that, then like do we classify Drew Barrymore as a scream queen for being in
Because she
E.T. and in Scream?
remember when she screamed, that's what I like to go to when she screamed when she saw E.T. And it was a horror film. It was a poor horror. Dee Wallace was the mom, so if she was in like real life, it would be a horrific life for her. It was true. Imagine.
But
Oh
I'm
my God.
kind of with you. You know, when I think of Scream Queens, I always kind of gravitate towards Jamie Lee Curtis, and I guess it's just because of her tie with the whole Halloween franchise. Um, you know, and
You know
she's
that for the original.
tied to all of the essential films. Even if she wasn't in a Halloween, the character, you know, you kind of felt the presence of the character itself. So, you know, it's hard to deny her. Plus, she does come from Janet Leigh being in Psycho. So, I mean, there's a little bit of like Scream Queen, you know, royalty there being passed down through the bloodline. But I also think of like on a smaller scale, like independent films. I would also count like Felissa Rose as one, you know, from Sleepaway Camp in 1980, I guess 1983, I think it was. You know, and she's gone on to do, you know, a myriad of independent horror films throughout her career. So it would be hard to deny the work that she's done, even if it's not mainstream. But everybody loves
Yeah.
Felissa Rose.
Oh yeah, I've met her a couple times. She's really sweet.
But you know, and then like in today's generation, you know, what would you say like Jenna Ortega because she's tied with like the Addams family and she was in I don't even remember what she was in. I can't remember some horror film not that long ago.
Something called X, I think it's called.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
you know, is there or is that more of a Final Girl type thing? It's actually a perplexing question. The whole Final Girl versus Scream Queen type thing. I get what Forever Entertainment's saying, but it's hard to,
Mm.
you know, can you put both in a movie successfully? You know, like Terrifier kind of did, or do you have to go with one or the other? And is there a future Scream Queen that we don't know about? Because I've seen some recent horror films and like I like Samara Weaving a lot, but she always turns out to be more of a Final Girl than a Scream Queen in that scenario. So hard to say. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Would love to have some input on some of this. This is a perplexing conversation. The Final Girl versus the Scream Queen.
Well, who knows, right?
So we'll say Jamie Lee Curtis is probably number one.
Right.
So she's your favorite Scream Queen. What is your favorite horror movie in that regard?
Well, horror movie. My favorite horror movie is Friday the 13th. Horror. Well, but Jaws is really my favorite, if you can consider that it's horror. It's supposed to be horror, right? I don't know. Technically, it's horror.
I would say, given
Or
the
the
time,
thriller.
you know, given the you know the era, I would definitely classify that as horror. Because I mean, let's face it. If we just jump aside real quick and talk about Jaws, you know, when it came out, you know, it set the tone for the modern day summer blockbuster. You know, and then obviously with the special effects that they used and the filming
The
process that
mechanical
they had to
shark.
go through, exactly.
Oh
You know,
God.
and
One
the
of
way
those
the
also?
movie, you know, the way that movie plays out, it does play out a lot like, you know, a horror film, because you only get, you know, glimpses, you know, and snippets of this killer, you know, at certain times. And it, you know, it attacks in the dark, it attacks in the day, it attacks, you know, there's no regard, there's no mercy, you know, so it does kind of play out as a horror film. And then when you get to see the shark, you definitely get that kind of jump, like, oh crap. And that's the same reaction I'm having to Anthony right this second as he jumped on screen.
Shark.
I just thought it'd be fun to pop in and hang out with you guys because
Absolutely, boss man.
we're literally sitting at the hospital. Manny's doing a sleep study. Here, look, she doesn't want me to, but they have this little room set up like almost like a hotel, but you can see like they have the sleep. I don't even know what they're called. Things that they have to connect all those to her head while
Yeah.
she's sleeping. They're gonna keep an eye on her and do a sleep study. And hopefully this isn't Nightmare on Elm Street night, because then things wouldn't be too good for the hospital. But no, the Terrifier, you guys were talking about Terrifier, and the girl that you said survives in the movie, she actually dies in the movie. So the friend gets cut in half, and then the other one.
Oh, we just lost him, and the other one gone.
So I might be wrong in that. So the other one dies, and then I think it's actually her sister that is the quote unquote survivor, if you will, and then she becomes the main antagonist in Terrifier 2. So
Okay, I'm back.
I think that's what Anthony was trying to tell me.
Award-winning. I'm sitting here trying to do a podcast with you guys. An award-winning actor, Christian Bester from Law and Order, tries to call me. Can't have any of that. Doesn't he know we're doing a podcast tonight? No. So
Not
yeah,
name dropping either, right?
Yeah, no. I would never name drop. But, so in Terrifier, the one girl gets cut in half, but then the other one ends up getting, spoiler alert, she ends up getting shot in the movie. And then it's her sister that comes in like halfway through the film, and that's the final girl. So I think the first two would be, all three would be scream queens, but I think only that last girl would be the final girl, because she's the only one that survives. Barely, but she does. And in the films that come after that, spoiler alert again, she's not really much of a final girl in those movies, I guess, or is she? Because I mean,
well, I would say
that
if we really wanted to break it down, Terrifier 2, yes, I would give her final girl credentials. Terrifier 3, and that's not a fault of the actress, but I didn't like Terrifier 3 as much because there wasn't a whole lot of I was hoping for a little bit more background story on Art, where he came from, what he is, and then the confrontation between Art and the girl was really just him torturing her in a chair. You know, so there wasn't enough confrontation between those two in the third one.
Can I tell you something about the movie that I've never been allowed to say before, because I get yelled at whenever I try to say it? Mandy's sick tonight, so she might not stop me. So I don't like the third Terrifier movie.
That's okay. I of the three, it's the one I like the least.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel too. I just I felt that the story kind of fell apart with that one. Yeah, I didn't like how they, and they might bring the brother back in the next movie and say it was all a lie or something. Who knows? But I just didn't like the way that they
kill you.
They killed him off screen. Mandy's mad at me for telling you guys I don't like it.
Well, is Mandy a fan of the third one?
It's not that she's a fan or not a fan. It's just that she doesn't want me to stir up any crap on Facebook, so I'm not supposed to say that I don't like it. But it's all right not to like.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I don't like it as much,
and that's the thing.
Like the other one.
I like the franchise as a whole, and I don't not like the third one. Just of those three, I like it the least.
I'm gonna go on.
Oh God.
Hey, if she's feeling well enough, she's gonna be in for a rough night regardless.
All right. All right. Well, you guys hang out for a second. I'll have her come on. All right. We'll keep it going. We'll have some fun tonight. It's a different kind of night. Here, I'll show you those wires quick too. I can see Nicole asking for them in the comments. Here.
Oh, fun! Yes.
I don't know how well you guys can see it. I'm probably not doing that great of a job, but
No, we definitely see
Sorry,
that.
I can see it.
And yes, we do have Nicole Butler watching us, so I want to say hi to Nicole. She's always very lovely to talk to.
Hi, Nicole.
Nicole
I can
is
see
doing a
her picture.
podcast. Mandy and Nicole have a podcast that they're doing together starting on Monday night at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern, live. All right. Mandy's going to come in and hang out. Hang on.
I can see her. I can see Mandy's picture and a whole sentence under her name.
I'm going to show everyone when they hook me up.
Oh boy.
So Terrifier. I mean, I'll be honest. Terrifier 2 is one of probably my favorite horror movie. Honestly, I've really enjoyed Terrifier 2. That's the best one of the franchise so far. I know they're going to do one more, so we'll see how that goes. But while we're waiting on Mandy, we can continue our conversation on Scream Queens, because there's a couple that I want to like a couple of one-offs I want to talk about. Like Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston. Normally you wouldn't consider Jennifer Aniston a Scream Queen or even a final girl, but you got to give her a little bit of credit when it comes to Leprechaun and that whole film. So, I don't know about that. You could also maybe argue Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs. I mean, that's...
Oh God, that was such a good movie, and I saw that. I took my grandmother to the movie theater to see that. I think I was like 11 years old.
And you thought that would be a good movie to take your grandmother to? Was she a fan of horror?
My grandmother. My grandmother. I was 11. Who was the adult? Now, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And we loved it. Wait, I gotta look that up now. Now I gotta look and see actually how old I really was. You're blaming a child. I'm going, what year was that made? Okay, funny you mentioned that. Do you know that Kill Bill's house, the guy that's based on, is not very far from my house? It's not
turn
very
the phone
far
the
from
other
me.
way.
That makes
You can go
perfect sense
stay
for
there
you.
over. You can go stay there overnight.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
wants to go? Do you guys want to go? Who wants to go? Hey, ladies, want to go to Kill Bill's house?
There's
Not far
Mandy.
from our house. Let me go look now. I'm going to look. But yeah, it's not very far from. It's in. I guess it's in.
So the real life Buffalo Bill house is not far from your home.
Not that I know of. It's like it's in by Buffalo. Well, obviously by Buffalo. Wait, I'll find out. Wait. Where's the real Buffalo Bill's house?
It's my house. I'm the real Buffalo Bill.
Oh! What was that?
That's Mandy, and I think she's
Buffalo Bill.
coming through her phone and Anthony's phone.
Yeah, it's echoing.
Oh my God! Okay. It's in
Here, hang on. I'll
it's in
fix it.
Perryopolis, Pennsylvania. I don't know where that is. Hold on. It's in Pennsylvania.
All right.
So,
That should be better now.
Can they still hear
okay,
me?
so
Oh, yeah.
Silence of the Lambs, you guys. We're talking
There we
about
go.
Silence of the Lambs. Here we are.
Yeah, so I was
Oh.
talking about some
91.
one-off Final Girls. Brought up Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs as kind of a one-off Final Girl / Scream Queen. Same thing with like Jennifer Aniston in Leprechaun. Kind of a one-off deal as a Scream Queen. And I see Nicole is asking, what are you guys looking forward to seeing people dress up as for Halloween? I don't dress up
Killer
for
pizza.
Halloween. Killer pizza.
Killer pizza. Oh my
We have
God! It's
Comic-Con
Nicole
next
Vegas from
weekend.
Killer Pizza. How cool is that? I can't do it as loud as I normally do. I'll get in trouble here.
Yeah, no,
I'm
don't
good
do
with
that.
Nicole Vegas.
Mandy's gonna dress up as Nicole, I guess. Yeah, Leprechaun, Jennifer Aniston, and that was fun. You know, you wouldn't normally think of her that way, but same with Renee Zellweger, and she was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4.
Oh, that is a good one. Yeah, that's a good
And,
point. I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
She
so
was in that creepy one with the little girl that was a demon. I can't remember the name of that one.
I don't know.
Poltergeist or
No,
was it Poltergeist, Mandy,
no, she's a
or The
she's a
Exorcist?
social worker, and she takes a little girl from the family, thinking that the family's abusing her, but she's really a demon.
I don't know what I have no idea. I know
I can look it up.
you know, would we consider Paris Hilton a scream queen for
From House of Wax.
And
You know, I wouldn't consider her a scream queen for that. I'll give it to her for that specific film. She was the
Okay.
scream queen in the film, but
All
I'm
right.
not going to give her the title as a lasting legacy.
Fair enough.
Hey, she was
I would
really
I
good
would
in
rather give it to
Genetic
Jennifer
Opera.
Aniston.
Right.
Paris Hilton was good in Repo the Genetic Opera.
Nicole's asking who else is here with us. We're in a hospital. We're literally in a hospital. Mandy's being monitored for sleep study. We've been having to see a bunch of specialists, and now we have to spend the night here.
Freddy Krueger.
But that's not what this is about. Tonight's all about scream queens. Nicole.
And to answer Nicole's question, we're all there in spirit.
And Nicole's going to be in Killer Pizza, and she's been in some horror movies. So Nicole's a scream queen herself. Look at that.
I would say that on the independent movie front, absolutely. She's been doing a lot of cool things, and she's been doing a lot in a very short amount of time. So I would definitely put her, if we were going to talk low budget scream queens, I would definitely put her in there. I know we talked about like Felissa Rose, even some lesser known actresses like Angel Bradford. I would consider like a scream queen.
Low budget. That sounded so dirty.
Moderately budgeted. Moderately budgeted.
It's pretty low budget. It's pretty low budget. Even if it's
sounds dirty.
If it's under $100,000, or even if it was $250,000, that's considered like
that's like a moderately budgeted film.
Yeah. So Matthew White's here in the comments. Matthew White, Lance's
my buddy
co-host for the
Matt.
Coffin Corner podcast. He says we probably already said this, but his favorite is Jamie Lee Curtis. We did mention Jamie Lee Curtis. She's sort of like one of the ultimate ones, right?
Yeah, we touched on that a lot in the beginning because I think that's kind of everybody's. I think when you mention Scream Queen, that's usually the first person that probably pops to mind. And just having the long-lasting career that she's had, having the ties to Halloween and the legacy that the franchise has. Plus, she does. I talked with Brandy about it. She does kind of come from a little bit of royalty with that. With Janet Leigh being her mother, being a Scream Queen in Psycho. So, I think that's everybody's kind of go-to. And I mean, it's hard to argue with Jamie Lee Curtis in that regard. But I did like the fact that Brandy did bring up a really good point with Faye being the original Scream Queen from King Kong. That's a really good nod to that actress.
So Walter Dale is here. He's saying, what guidelines are we judging? Loud screaming, acting? Well, I think that's kind of the point, right? We're trying to figure out how we should judge, and then who fits into that category, I think, right? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head earlier with the kind of the separation between the final girl and the Scream Queen. So if we're focusing more on just the Scream Queen aspect of it, screaming definitely has to be a part of that. Brandy brought up a good point earlier with Faye, and having to scream 8 hours a day, all day, every day during the filming of King Kong to try and get those scenes correct. But the acting too, like it has to be convincing, the screaming, like whether it's scared or it's pain or it's a combination of both, the acting has to go with that. So again, I would probably divert back to Jamie Lee Curtis in that regard because she is a good actress. She is good at screaming, but the combination of those two things, I mean, her portrayal of the character, from the original Halloween is very convincing. So, I would say there's probably some films where actresses scream and the screaming might be convincing, but the acting overall might be a little lackluster. Paris Hilton, for example.
Fair enough. Is that a good answer,
I like
Mandy?
Paris Hilton better than Jamie Lee Curtis.
What is that?
That's what
Let's
I
see.
said. Want to fight me? Show
Nicole
me.
Vegas has a comment here. I love being the killer, Saber Sparkles. I think Saber Sparkles is her character
I think
from
it's Savory Sparkles.
Saber Sparkles is from Clown Motel 3. And I mentioned earlier that Nicole was a scream queen. I didn't say that she's a final girl. We don't know yet. You have to wait until you see the movie.
Exactly. We got to watch, find out.
Killer Pizza.
All right. We're looking forward to seeing Nicole in Clown Motel 3 and Killer Pizza. Morgan Suzak's here. He says Mel Heflin is a fun, newer, low budget.
Oh,
queen.
yeah. Mel Heflin is a good one. That is yeah, she's good. She's a good actress. I forgot. I should have mentioned her when I mentioned Angel Bradford.
See, the low budget queen, though, that just sounds so icky.
Well, that's what it is. They're low budget horror movies. So that's how they don't want to. We're judging. I think
needs to come up for that.
we're trying to judge on a little bit of a curve, I think, right?
It's like
Like you don't want to,
who's our trailer park scream queen?
like you want to.
No,
acknowledge all
because here's the
people
thing.
that-
Just because something is low budget does not mean it's low quality.
Right. So we want to judge based on, like, we don't want to say that they're. I mean, we want to acknowledge all the good things that they've done in the movies that they've been in, regardless of the budget. So it's just a way of saying that they're.
I know what you're saying. It just sounds dirty.
Well, okay, I don't think it sounds dirty.
But how else would you put that? I mean, how? Like I said, just because something's low budget does not mean it's low quality.
Well, not B, because B movies are bad.
What? B movies aren't bad. I love B movies.
Everybody likes B movies except for Anthony.
It's not true at all. This is why she's in the hospital. We have to figure out what's going on. Morgan says, no shame in the low budget movies.
I mean, honestly, that's really where my heart is with films. I've always enjoyed B movies. I enjoy the low budget independent stuff. I mean, it's and Nicole, no, it's low quality too. No, it's not.
Just wait until me and Camille are gonna.
Oh, it just got out. Did they get too close together?
She's like, what's going on? They can't hear me.
Did you mute yourself?
Well, I know that
I didn't see her touch her phone though.
I know she was coming
no,
through
no,
both
no, no. I
microphones.
was on his thing before.
Oh.
Don't Brandy making that face. Like, what's going on? I am here. Anthony had to go take a phone call. It's probably Christian calling him back. But me and Nicole are gonna discuss this on our show on Monday.
Oh,
We're
very
gonna
cool.
discuss that. No, it's low quality too.
That's not true. Not all low budget is low quality.
Wait until we discuss it. You'll see.
I mean,
I can't pull up the things like he was doing.
Now Morgan
is-
says that Morgan says he grew up with trauma. So I mean, Toxic
I love
Avenger,
trauma.
exactly.
I'm
But
not going to talk. I'm still going to fight you and throw hands. Come on.
are you willing to admit that they're low budget?
I'm not going to call the ladies low budget queens. It just doesn't sound nice.
But Morgan says he brings up Brink Stevens and Debbie Roken, Tiffany Shepis. He says they're all Scream queens. So
I don't
And
know who any of
Nicole,
them are.
Nicole does bring up the fact that she does love practical special effects, and I can agree with her on that. I'm a huge advocate for practical special effects, and
Oh, then you're going to love Killer Pizza.
I'm looking forward to it. And I've been following the progress since day one.
So their pizza is going to be an actual puppet. That's going to be a lot of fun. Walter Phelan actually told me he's going to help me out with some of that for the behind the scenes stuff and everything. Walter Phelan's from A House of a Thousand Corpses. He played Dr. Satan, but you'll also know
wow.
him from a lot of you'll know his FX work from like several shows like Charmed. He actually played one of the demons in Charmed as well. But
cool.
a lot of you'll see a lot of his work in that. He's done various Star Wars episodes and like the shows and the movies. I'm trying to think what else he's worked on. I think he's worked on Star Trek as well. And then he, oh my God. There's too much to list. He has like hundreds of things on his page. Oh, we mentioned when we had an interview with him and we were talking to him about Little Nicky because he was on that too. And he did the work on it. He didn't remember that. He's done so much work. He doesn't remember what he does.
That's what IMDb's for.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get to that point one day, hopefully. Well, I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Sonny. I'm hoping I get there. And, it's kind of weird because he left and you see the little circle thing and then he left Nicole's comment on the thing. So now everybody tuning in is just going to see, no, it's low quality too. And it just looked like it branded the show like that.
It'll be
Welcome
fine.
to our low quality podcast. Okay,
So I know we've
we're
asked a
talking
lot of
about
other
Scream
people.
Queens. I won't interrupt your. Okay, you're talking over me. This is
I was
my
going to
show
ask
now.
you. I was going to ask you who your favorite Scream Queen would be.
I don't know. One of those nights where I don't know. My brain doesn't work right all the time. I'm not going to say Jamie Lee Curtis because you're all sitting there worshiping her too much. I honestly, when I was younger, I'm going to tell you this right now. When I was younger, I could never understand why she was an actress and why she was so famous because I thought she was so ugly when I was little. I honestly thought Jamie Lee Curtis was ugly. I thought the only thing she
boy.
had going for her were the big boobs.
Sometimes that's all you need.
And then it's like as I got older, I was a mean little kid. And as I got older, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like I guess she was kind of cute, but I still don't see it honestly. But there she is, making millions and millions of dollars, and here I am making those low budget Scream Queen movies.
I'll try to refrain from using that term. Moderately budgeted.
I don't know. Get back to me on who my favorite would be because right now I can't think. It's like I have like a million things racing through my head with it, and I can't just pinpoint one. I know it sounds odd, but that's one of the reasons why I'm here in this hospital place.
Right. Well, I mean, like we said, Jamie Lee's usually a lot of people's go-to. I mean, if I had to deviate from something not so mainstream, I mean, I would probably gravitate towards like Felissa Rose. I really like everything that she's been in. In Sleepaway Camp, that's right at that, 1980s slasher era. So she fits right in with that. So that would be a good one. Walter says his is the girl from Scream 6, but he doesn't know her name. I mean, she shot her boyfriend.
Emma
Just
Roberts?
pretty and pure evil. Maybe. Is she the one that shot her boyfriend?
Yeah, Emma Roberts.
Okay. That's a good one then.
they're rumored to be bringing her back in the next one as well.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, Nicole's got to work with Eric Roberts, which is her uncle.
Yes,
On
and he's
set.
been in everything.
He's in everything now. I know. I was thinking about maybe putting him in Killer Pizza because everybody's so used to seeing him and everything. But I don't think he'd be the right fit for it. But I'll find somebody.
Now, Bill Baxter says on Facebook, the actress from the X trilogy. I'm not 100% what he's referring to.
I think that's the one we were talking about at the beginning. Hold on. The one that you said you didn't know the other things she was in.
Okay.
X. Hold on.
Careful what you Google.
No. it was-
Googling.
No, I saw it on ChatGPT originally. Where did I see it? Because I saw the X something in here too. That's the newer ones, right?
Oh, okay. What's that, like
It's Mia
Maxine or
Goth.
whatever?
Yeah, Mia Goth.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay. I didn't even think about that one earlier. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
New ones. Yeah.
I know I said Samara Weaving earlier, but I really don't. She's more of a final girl than a scream queen at this point.
Yeah.
But man, she's awesome.
Trying to think.
Bill clarified that X, Pearl, and Maxine. So yeah, that's Mia Goth. That's a good one. Excellent choice, Bill. Billy Baxter. I like that name.
Do you really like that name?
Yeah,
or are you
it's got a
just
good,
saying it?
no, it's got a good ring to it. Billy Baxter. I like it.
When we were on set for filming the Flower City Butcher, story time with Ari Lehman. He's sitting there telling me that with his character, because his character's name is Marshall, and I don't know if you guys know this. I wrote the movie here. This lady.
Very cool.
So I'm sitting there talking with him, and he's telling me, he goes, I want to give my character a last name. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, what do you want to name your character? And he said, what's the guy's? Okay, now I don't even remember what it was. So I was going to tell you, and then it leaves my head. I hate when that happens to me.
It's so annoying. It will come to you in the
But
middle of the
it's-
night when you're sleeping.
Case. It's Case. Sorry, it's Case. So he wants to, because it's the store owner's last name that we were filming in and everything. And he's telling me, he's like, that's a badass name. He goes, I want my name to be Marshall Chase. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I will put that in the credits for you. He goes, yeah, I want to see that in the credits. You have to talk like Ari if you're going to talk for him. I'm sorry. You just can't not talk like him. It's like, it's me, Ari Lehman. It rhymes with demon.
That's good.
I love filming with him. He's great. Okay, but he's not a scream queen. But I had to tell you that story. Get off track and off topic.
Well, not
Anthony's
necessarily. I mean, Flower City Butcher, Killer Pizza. Will there be any scream queens in those films?
Yes.
Brandy says yes.
Yeah.
I'm
people
kind
are
of.
gonna die, so I think they're gonna scream, right?
People are gonna scream. I'm gonna say Michaela Coco.
Okay.
She's gonna be our lead actress in it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. She's a very bright, she's very intelligent, extremely talented young woman. She's 16. She's already graduated from high school,
Oh, wow.
going to nursing school.
Oh,
So
wow. Sweet.
She's 17.
she's 17 now? Oh, she had a birthday. Sorry, she just turned 17. But I'm super excited to be working with her again. We worked with her on Blood Loss. She's just extremely talented. You're going to be super impressed with her performance. She's really looking forward to it. I kind of presented it to her and her mom, and it's not a typical part that you would agree to let your child do. There's nothing vulgar or anything like that. It's just extremely violent, extremely brutal. So it's something for a little spoiler for you guys to have there. That's all I'm going to say about it. But
Very cool.
but this girl, anything you say to her, the more gruesome and everything that you say things to this girl, she's like, yeah, I want to do this, and she wants it. It's like when I told her mom like what the part entailed and everything before we signed her and stuff. She told me, she's like, oh my god, Michaela's going to be so excited. She's so excited. Okay, if guys do this again, that should be somebody that you guys interview if he's going to do interviews. Just saying, Michaela's a good one.
Don't know what the future holds. We're all kind of feeling our way through. But I mean, it's
Yeah,
only
I'm
the
giving you
first
the act right
episode.
now. Let's take them off the screen, Anthony. Let's take over. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't be sad, Brandy. I love you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Anthony just wants you to look at him. Looking all sexy.
I can't hear them.
You can't
We're
hear
not
that?
doing anything.
How is it he can't hear us?
He might have to leave and come back in because that happens with StreamYard
Oh,
because he took that call and everything, and for some reason it just messes with it.
yeah, StreamYard's like that sometimes.
Can you hear
So,
us?
what were the other topics that you were going to go over?
Tonight's episode's all about Scream Queen.
Well, I know it's all about Scream Queens. I said the wrong thing, okay? I say the wrong thing all the time, but you guys should understand me no matter what. They should understand that I am saying that they need to go over the next lady.
Nicole wants to know if there's any such thing as Scream Kings.
That's a
I
great
said Scream
question.
Kings. I write them.
That's a good question.
That should be your
That's,
next episode.
Man.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that's
Scream Kings. Is he talking?
yeah, I am.
I can't hear him.
He's laughing now.
So as far as the
That's weird. I
Scream
hear
King
Brandy,
goes,
and
that is
I don't
an
hear him.
interesting question. I'm not
I'm
even
back
sure if I
out.
could even think of somebody that would be considered a Scream King. When it comes to horror films, usually the antagonist is usually a guy to begin with. So, where would you? I can't even think one off the top of my head. Maybe Matthew Lillard in Scream. I mean, just off the top of my head. I mean, I hear they're bringing him back for the next one, but I mean, that was kind of I could guess you could give them that. 13 Ghosts. He was in that. That's a good flick. So maybe Matthew Lillard I would consider a Scream King. Walter says Jack Nicholson. I am from The Shining and I guess Wolf maybe.
Witches of Eastwick.
What about any of you? Any of you have a Scream King off the top of your head?
His name's slipping my mind, but
Sorry, I guess I was on mute. She's on mute. I don't know. The guy from the guy from
Am I on
Nightmare on
mute?
Elm Street 2.
If you're on mute, we can still hear you through him.
Yeah, just stop playing
I
with your
wasn't on
phone.
mute though. There's something going on. It's all wacky and wonky.
Yeah. So, what's Mandy? Who's the actor from Nightmare 2?
Nightmare 2.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2. He's got a whole documentary called Scream Queens. He was the survivor in that one.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Or how about Sienna's brother in Terrifier 2?
I mean, I guess that would be. Yeah, I mean,
Mark Patton's from Nightmare 2.
I could see that. I don't know, Nicole. What about you, Nicole? Why don't you chime in? Who's your Scream King there? Let us know in the comments.
How about Brandy? Brandy, any Scream Kings you can think of?
No, I can't think of anybody right
No.
now.
Johnny Depp from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1.
He dies.
Yeah, but he's screaming.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I guess Scream was.
Well, you know,
is Johnny
Well,
Depp a
they
Scream
do
King?
die, don't they? I don't know.
Brandy, you could argue, since you like
Thinking about
Jaws so
the dude
much,
from Jaws. That's what I was trying to think. I don't know their names right
I
now.
don't remember his name either, but hell of an actor. But yeah, you could argue he would be a Scream King.
I know. I was trying. That's what I was thinking was Jaws. That's the first thing that came to my head with Jaws, because the dude that Jaws was eating, not Quigley. Is it Richard Dreyfuss's character? Or no? Not
Well, I
Richard.
mean, he
Drey- yeah.
dies too, but no, I was thinking the captain.
Yes. No, I think it's Richard Dreyfuss's character. No, the captain was still alive. Richard Dreyfuss died first because it was the police officer. He stayed through all the way through. Richard Dreyfuss died first. So it'd be Richard Dreyfuss, that dude. Oh my goodness. What's his name?
Nicole brings up
I'm gonna meet him
Bruce
next
Campbell.
week. Oh, actually, well, he came up on here, Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead, Army of Darkness.
Wouldn't
Love.
Bruce Campbell be a final guy?
That's what we're talking
okay,
about. We're
what
talking
was
about
it?
Final Kings.
Jaws.
Scream
What about
Kings.
Scream Kings.
Scream Kings, yeah.
And then Billy Baxter brings up Christopher Lee, but would you take that as a Scream King? And did he play Dracula a lot?
He was Dracula. Yeah. I don't know what movie was he a Scream King in. So that's more of like the villain. Was there a movie where
Robert Shaw. That's who I was trying to think of. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Robert
you're
Shaw's
fine.
the guy from Jaws.
There we go.
There's that one guy's name.
So I put in Jaws Scream King on ChatGPT and it come up. So in Jaws, you could make the case for two Scream Kings: the shark, silent, relentless horror, and two, Chief Brody, human reaction and survival instincts. That's what they said. So I don't understand. So what's ChatGPT?
I think
Definition
ChatGPT
of a
is classifying
Scream
them more as final guys as opposed to Scream Kings.
So
Maybe
they're
it's saying
saying that Chief Brody is the human Scream King. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
would
That doesn't
Arnold
make
Schwarzenegger be one from Predator?
Dude, I love that war cry. I don't care what anybody says. That is a great scene. I love it when he throws that freaking fire down and I'm like, that's ultimate manhood right there. That is a battle cry for the ages. And that is like my third favorite movie of all time.
Saying Jason Statham from The Meg.
I liked The Meg. The Meg 2 was terrible.
I
I haven't got to see it yet.
You're not
Yeah,
missing
Chrissy
anything.
Number One.
It is so ridiculous. Like the first Meg was really good. It was grounded. It was almost plausible. Meg 2 is just off the rails. Meg 2 turns into just a typical Jason Statham movie.
What about I was gonna say the kid from the Terminator. We probably is that sci-fi
Edward Furlong?
horror, or is that just sci-fi action? Could we somehow classify Terminator in a horror category?
I mean, I think the original Terminator does kind of fall into a horror type category. Terminator 2 is definitely way more sci-fi. But
So,
I think the way the Terminator was, the way it was shot, and again, you kind of have a lot of horror elements with this. I mean, if you think about it, Michael Myers is kind of like the original Terminator. You know, he doesn't move real fast. He's brutal, can't be killed. He's
Mhm.
there, then he's not there. I mean, you can't tell me that James Cameron didn't draw a little bit of inspiration from Michael Myers for the frickin' Terminator.
Well, that's a pretty interesting thought, I think. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Did James Cameron?
Well,
ahead,
I was
Mandy.
looking up, stuff on the Scream
Yeah.
Kings, and the number one that comes up is actually Vincent Price.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'd classify him as a Scream King. He's like the king
I'm
of horror.
sorry, I'm gonna have to correct you, but everybody on the internet has classified him as a Scream King.
The
No,
AI has spoken.
I would put him more like he's like the male equivalent to like Elvira, you know?
Right.
He's like the king of horror, but I wouldn't say he's a Scream King.
You guys mentioned Trauma before. I heard it in the background.
Yes.
You guys mentioned Lloyd Kaufman. Would he be
Okay.
considered a Scream King?
That's
What
a good
about,
choice. That's a good choice.
This would be a stretch, but what about Charles Band?
Who's he?
Charles Band. He produced Puppet Master, Ginger Dead Man, Evil Bong, Killjoy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, geez.
Justin Long.
Oh, Justin Long.
Hey, now that's
There you
perfect. Excellent
All right.
choice,
Yeah.
Mandy.
All right. Now we're getting somewhere.
Excellent
what I
choice.
said. Forget what I said. Justin Long.
Yes, Anthony. Yes, it was a stretch. I've seen
Yeah.
Ginger
Yeah,
Dead Man. I've
Anthony's
seen
trying.
Killer Bong. I've seen Killjoy. But yeah,
See, my
Justin
brain
Long.
is
That is
trying to
that is an
work.
excellent choice.
Let's see. Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss' character dies in the book, not the movie.
It's Dreyfus. You said Dreyfus.
Dreyfuss. Okay, Richard Dreyfuss' character dies in the book, not the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see.
You know what? I'm gonna name a character in one of our films,
Don't
Dreyfus.
remember.
Dreyfuss. Nicole Butler
Yes,
says
Justin
yes.
Long.
Justin Long.
Yeah, I think that's a winner right there. Now that is a
I
Scream
won.
King.
What did
All
I
right.
win?
You don't win anything. I think I'm gonna leave on a high note there. So now that we got Justin Long, I'm gonna leave Lance and Brandy to the end of the show here. You guys have fun. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see Lance on a week from Monday for the Coffin Corner.
Yep, Coffin Corner podcast every other Monday. We talk football. That's me and my buddy Matt. We do that. Horror Lens will
I'm
be
Matt.
every Friday. And then don't forget, Mandy and Nicole will also have a podcast on Mondays. More
Still
people
the
will
real
probably watch
podcast.
two pretty blondes rather than two dumbass guys talk about football. So some stiff competition there in the podcast world.
Matt, we got to work on the hair. Matthew White, if you're listening, we've got to grow the hair out.
Oh, and they said they're both gonna probably put blonde wigs on and be like.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I think they're gonna do it.
All right. Well,
I
I'm
think
gonna
Mandy
let you
wants
guys
us to
go.
do it.
I do want
Thanks,
you to do
everybody.
It. It's funny. Do it.
So, well, Brandy, had a really good time tonight talking with you. This was a blast. Certainly looking forward to maybe trying again. We'll see how things pan out. But it was great having Anthony and Mandy with us as well. So what'd you think of tonight's episode?
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. And educational, too. We all
Good and
learned something,
educational.
I think. I think we all learned something tonight.
I mean, we went from Scream Queens to Scream Kings. We covered the OG with Faye. We went past President Future with Jamie Lee Curtis, and Jennifer Aniston is a one-off, and talked about Terrifier, and a lot of good stuff. So it was a lot of fun tonight. Walter's chiming in. He says he's excited about the Flower City Butcher, and I know you've got a little bit of a hand in that. So I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight on this Friday night. Nothing better to do than talk horror movies. So
Yep.
We appreciate everybody chiming in the comments. Like, subscribe, and comment to the channel. Follow Forever Entertainment on Facebook. Follow their YouTube channel. And you can also friend request Mandy and Anthony Camino and keep up with all the news and notes coming down the pipeline for Flower City Butcher and Killer Pizza. I'm Lance, the Obscure Movie Guy. This has been Brandy, future Scream Queen. And we'll see everybody in the next podcast.
See you later.